What's up, Dusty? I got you on the bullet journal setup. I'm going to take you through a couple of my collections, and then I'm going to show you how I do a monthly setup and then a daily setup. 3, 2, 1. All right, so this is my bullet journal. I bought the one from Bullet Journal World Headquarters. I got the one that comes in a set with the book, and I really liked that. So you can use any notebook to do this. The thing I liked about this, especially for the first one, is that it gives you some of this stuff. So with this system of dots, like this is task, this is completed, this is migrated, this is scheduled, this is note, event, okay? Irrelevant, you just draw a line through it. I use the star to signify priority. I use this triangle that's open for an appointment, and then I close it for completed. And then the slash, like just half of it X, means that I'm waiting for something. That's the setup that I have. You can use any signifiers that you want, but try to use just a few of them as opposed to using a bunch, just so that you don't end up with more than you can remember, okay? This is the index, and so you don't fill out the index first. You fill out the book, and then you come back and write the stuff in the index, but that makes it where you can find the things that you're working on. So if you don't have one of these branded ones, you just leave some pages blank at the beginning, okay? So this is like the future log is what they call it, and so I just broke it up January, February, March, April, May, and I just kind of broke it up into months. And so this is going to come back into play in a minute. That's why I got one of my bookmarks there, all right? So I started in December, and I'll show you. I set up the calendar the exact way that Ryder talks about doing it because I thought it was really logical and I liked it. Monthly tasks or things that need to happen sometime that month, okay? Then this is like a daily one where I make a list of things, and these dashes that I've got are just things that I'm like remembering or talking about, and notes that I have through the day. Reflection's an important part of the deal, okay? My first collection in here is this state high point collection, and I've got state high points, and then I listed all the high points. There's 50 states. I listed the name of the mountain and then how many miles it is. Now this is from Sedalia, so when I do this again, like I'll copy this to my next bullet journal, and I'll put the distance probably from Springfield instead of Sedalia. But and it's we've kind of gone through, and I marked out the ones that we've done, like Mount Katahdin in Maine. Kids under 6 aren't above the tree line. They're allowed above the tree line. So that's like the kind of stuff that I could put over there. This is just a super specific to me collection. Like I can't imagine why you would make a state high points collection, but that's one of them. Another one that we're working on is Missouri State Parks. And so this is all the state parks that have camping and the ones we've camped at when we camped there. And then I made a side note about ones that I've camped at because there's several of them that I've stayed at, and it's just kind of something for me. And then we put an X in it when all 4 of us have camped there, okay? This is a page that I did when I was applying for a job, and I just kind of just a brain dump, just all the questions that I had and that kind of thing, and I kind of went through it and made myself a clearer picture of what was happening and things that I needed to do, and that just kind of helps me keep all of that in one place. Then I go back and I put it on my index, on page, what is that, page 15? I like the numbered pages in the book. You could number your own pages if you wanted to. But, Central App is on page 15, comma 19. Well, I wrote some stuff on 15, then I wrote some more stuff in my journal. Then I was working on it again, I needed another page. Well, okay, that was on page 19. So I put 15/19, so I know the rest of that's on page 19. And then I put /15 here, so I know, oh, there's more back on 15. And that just kind of helps me keep that flowing and organized so I can find it even though it's not digital, okay? I'm going to jump forward here and kind of show you how I do a month organization, and then we'll kind of talk about the colors, okay? So it's October 3rd, but it was over a weekend and I just didn't have time to get it done last week. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my month. I'm going to look at how I set up September because I kind of liked how that was going. All right, so a lot of these things are things that I, track in other places, but it's helpful to me to go through and put them in and write things. When I write things, I remember them more clearly. And sometimes the process of writing things down makes me think about it, and I find I get stuff done because the time it takes me to write it is longer than the time it would take me to type it, and just that extra couple of seconds or minutes thinking about it really lets me process. And sometimes, like, by the time I've finished writing it, I've either done the thing or now I can just type the email or whatever and do the thing. So I number down the left hand side with just the numbers. There's 31 days, right? Okay. So this year, let's make sure I'm not crazy. October 1st was the Thursday, or was it the Friday? It was the Friday, okay? So I'm just going to put an F here for Friday. And maybe that's important to you, maybe it's not. I actually put it on the wrong side. I like them over here. So I put F, S for Saturday, SU for Sunday. And you can use whatever you want. I use MTWRF SSU. That's just what I've come up with, and you can include that or not. Do I have this on my phone? Absolutely. Do I have it, Google Calendar? Sure. But just kind of having it helps. So I'm going to go through the rest of these. Okay, and so I've got those set up. Now I'm going to go back here to this earlier thing, and this is all the stuff that when I wrote this down or when it came up. Like, we've got drill on the 23rd and the 24th. So I'm going to put, like I said, I use the triangle like this. That's a 2-day event. I've got drill, but I've got Reed Spring Marching Band Festival on that Saturday the 23rd, so I'm going to put that in there too. Okay, now I should have probably used a color for that, but I kind of zoned out. I'll show you. The first 6 months it's all black, and I like that better. It made more sense to me. It just seemed easier to carry one pen around. Getting in the habit of carrying this book in a pen, like I got the pen loop to make that easier. And then somebody gave me some felt tip pens like around the start of school, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. So I wrote in some colors, and I kind of liked it, but I didn't like the colors that I had, so I went and bought a set of these Staedtler. I love the Staedtler Mars erasers. Well, I bought these Staedtler pens, and I got the F, the fine. The next set I buy, I'll probably buy the VF, the very fine. And so I should have wrote this in blue because it's a Hillcrest thing. So I'll kind of show you that lunacy. If the color thing seems crazy to you, I totally get it. Like I said, I used the thing for 10 months before I started using colors. So don't let that creep you out. If that level of complexity or that layer of complexity makes it a no-go, then don't do it. Don't stress about it. Okay. But conceptually, I should have done drill in green for Army, so I'm just going to kind of green that out a little bit. And then I'm going to blue this Reed Spring, which I know looks like hot trash, but it helps me, so I'm doing it. Okay. All right, so let's see what else is on my calendar. All right, I've got some stuff that I do every month that I kind of keep track of on here. Okay. Yesterday we did Valhalla. So I closed that triangle, and that's just, it just kind of helps me move through the month. I'm going to close it over here too. Okay. This Saturday we've got Pleasant Hope. Should have made a triangle for that. All right. Okay, I've got to remember that this is senior night. So I've got a meeting at 4 p.m. about the new house. I'm using purple for that, just because I had purple. All right, now I moved all those things over here. So my monthly tasks that I've got, I'm going to kind of list over here, and I'll show you. So the only one I've got from the main one, I've got this feeder check-in email. Okay, and that seems like not too bad, right? Well, let's go back to September. So, I forgot a couple of things. So I track 4 things that I'm trying to do regularly. And those 4 things are practice, meditate, listen, and exercise. Okay. I'm not killing it on all of those fronts. I'm just putting a dot in the center of each of these. It just kind of helps me when I'm marking these on days that I do them. So I'll show you, September here in just a second. When I look at September, this was not a super productive month. I had that bike wreck, so my bike wreck was on the 1st, so I didn't exercise at all. Then I kind of got back into it. Okay, listening, I didn't do any organized listening that month. I did practice a couple of days. I didn't meditate any days, and that's not ideal. I'll see if I could show you a month which is more viewable. Oh, here comes one. Here comes April. So, and you can draw lines like this one. I was working on a time thing, and so you can use a ruler or a piece of paper and draw yourself some lines. So this is a little bit better, and I was doing listening more steadily, and I had some more stuff going on. So, but that's just how this month went. Now, that being said, today's Sunday the 3rd, and I did exercise today. So I'm gonna put an X on today, which is the 3rd. So, it just kind of helps me at a glance kind of see what I have and haven't been getting done. Okay. Now, I do have also on September a whole bunch of things I didn't get finished. So, we're going to look at that. Okay. This thing I've been dragging for months. I need to email some supporters. And I have a list of those people on page 124. Okay, I put a star because I've got to get that done, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and migrate my tasks from here over to here, and we'll see it here when I get these knocked out. Okay, Dusty, so I want to show you what I was doing back here ways, okay? So what I kind of did is I would work through, and I would do, this is February 22nd, so I'd have tasks, I'd measure my water intake, okay, and I'd kind of make a big old list, and I look at this crazy list. Well, okay, here's Tuesday the 23rd, here's Wednesday the 24th, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I wouldn't do as much, okay? But I would kind of go through and I'd set myself a listening goal, and those are the people I'd listen to, and I'd kind of make that all happen. Okay, well, during the summer, I didn't have as much going on. I was on vacation essentially, so I kind of got out and I started just I'd make a Monday list. So like here's for September, I would start on 9/13, and then I kind of like had some lists. Then Tuesday, right? Wednesday, I guess I didn't add anything. Thursday, Friday, okay, well, that's fine. Then Monday, I just kept adding all week, And I did the same thing this last week I got over here, So, I don't know what's going to work best for you, For me, kind of having a week on two facing pages makes like the most sense. On getting stuff into my list. So right now I've got all this stuff that I didn't get finished. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it into my monthly tasks, and then I'm going to come back in and check that periodically. Okay, so these pins are awesome, but they bleed through a little bit. Okay, so now I've moved all the stuff that I didn't get done over here to this page. So this is a monthly task page, and I can kind of refer back to this. Now, tomorrow morning I'm going to come over here. This is admittedly pretty gross to look at, right? But we're going to go ahead and just do this. 10, 4. I'm going to try real hard to track my water intake to keep myself hydrated. I'm going to use this yellow pen to remind me to check my monthly. It'll help that I can see it bleeding through all this. Now, all these pens and all these colors, this is crazy, but this is like the only time this month that I'm going to have all of these things out like this, okay? I'm going to put up most of these here. The thing that I want to do to kind of show you one thing about reflection that I'm going to do here, I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to put this. I'm going to write 10/2 Valhalla. First festival in 4 years. Dead last, but we won just by being there. And that sounds cheesy, man, but no, everyone said we couldn't. So anyway, that just kind of helps me reflect. That's a really short one, but if I'm looking back through here, it kind of helps me keep track of all that, okay? So there's my monthly calendar, my task page. I'll start my daily right over here, okay? So right now I don't have anything written here. So that'll make me come over here and check on some of this stuff and work on it. Now, as stuff comes up, I'll add it just like I did over here, okay? If I find that something's not as important or I don't end up having to do it, I'll just draw a line through it. Man, you gotta work on the joy of missing out, not the fear of missing out, but the joy of missing out. And I think, that's the kind of thing that kind of helps you embrace a technology like this, because it's not a very fancy technology, but it's a technology. Anyway, man, hope that's been helpful to you, and that's how I do my bullet journal. And if you have questions, let me know. Have a great one. Bye.